Buenos días, Arlene, ¿cómo estás?
Buenos días, estoy bien. Mira, aquí empezando mi día con un rico cafecito hecho aquí en casa. We can't forget the coffee.
I love your cup. That is so cute.
These are some cups that we carry back in our shop. I sourced them from Puebla.
Okay.
And I loved it too. Like these ones are like, es una calaca de Dia de los Muertos.
Yes.
I feel festive.
Yeah.
And it's a big cup.
Yes. Well, good morning to you. Yes. And if you guys don't know, I'm also a very tea drinker. That's the first thing that I drink in the morning when I wake up. Un cafecito or un tecito. Un tecito me cae mucho mejor que el cafecito. But before we even get started, you guys need to know where you can find Arlene. Arlene, please let them know where they can find you and follow you in your website.
Thank you. Pues mi nombre es Arlene Galindo. I am the founder and owner of Glamlindo Artesanía. We are a artesanía boutique shop that carries a little bit of Mexico. I mean, not a little bit, I want to say a lot of bit of Mexico. Our items are made with lots of love. We source everything directly from the artisan family. So everything that we carry, we know where it's been and where it comes from. And you guys can find me on Instagram under Glamlindo Artesanía. We're on Facebook also, Glamlindo Artesanía. And then my website is glamlindo.com.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be here.
Yes. You guys, if you guys are just listening to us, if you're not watching on YouTube or Spotify, go to the description box. I'm going to have her links down in the description box so you guys can just click it and instantly go. If you guys are watching us, you'll see her information on the screen throughout this interview. So you guys jot down her name, go and find her on social media. Arlene, we see many boutiques that are doing what you're doing, but I feel like you stand out because your pieces are truly one of a kind. I have been looking for pieces like yours for such a long time, and I was like, I guess I'm just gonna have to go to Mexico. Like that's an excuse.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny that you say that because through the power of the business, because I started my business in 2017 after I suffered a little mini depression because the company that I worked for, worked corporate America, and I was let go from one day to the next, but being in the business, like you just said, like I'm gonna have to go to Mexico now. We actually have started something where it's called Viajeras Blogueras, and there's people that have reached out to me and said, we want to go to Mexico, but if you curate this, we'll go. So we started taking women that want to sign up, that want to start their business, and we'll show you the ropes. Because everybody can do it. And there's room for all of us because there's no time to be envious there's some shops that don't want to share contacts. And I'm like, you're helping the artisan family. I'm only one person. I can't cater to the world. So the more, the merrier. So I feel like collaboration for me is key in anything that you do in life. You know what I mean? So it's funny that I gotta go to Mexico. I would love to have you one day join us.
Girl, so I was going to talk about that. Let's talk about it. Because when I went to your website, I saw that. Like the last one that you had was the Chasing Oaxaca in 2022. And I was like, why didn't I find you in 2022? I want to go to Oaxaca so bad. Pero sí da un poquito de miedo because yo no conozco México. Soy mexicana and everything. Conozco Tijuana. Te puedo llevar a Rosarito, Ensenada, all that. But once we're talking about like Mexico, da mucho miedo. But then it's like, there's really nothing for us to be scared about. I'm so sorry if you guys listen to Selena in the background. I'm playing her. I just heard but yes, that is so interesting. So if you guys see, I'm telling you, you need to go find her on social media. You need to connect with her.
We're actually in the works. We're planning a new trip, and it's going to be to Oaxaca. It's going to be in the summer. People were requesting to do it for Dia de los Muertos, but honestly, because my mom passed away in June, and we had that
idea
excursion in July, so we had already, had.
Okay.
My mom knew I was going, and honestly, Maribel, I'm going to tell you, like, I knew I was going to Oaxaca to heal my soul, because when my mom passed away, it happened so quick. I really didn't have time to like mourn like how I wanted to. Everybody mourns different. And I knew that by me going to Oaxaca the next month, I was going to heal myself, because Oaxaca is beautiful. It's indigenous. When you get there, you see like los colores, los sabores, los olores, like you are in the motherland, you're in Mexico. And through that, I was able to heal. I knew that I had to do this trip. I was not going to cancel. I was going to go, I was going to do it. I did arrive a little bit later, but I do have I work with another, otra muchacha, no sé si la conoces. Her name is Melissa Rojas. She's chasing Camila. No. If you don't follow her, I would suggest that you follow her too. She's my sister brand. So me and Melissa, we work very close. I'm looking her
up. I'm still listening, but I'm looking her up because I will forget.
Chasing Camila.
Chasing Camila. I love her name, Camila.
Yeah, she has an interesting story too. I would love for you to one day meet with her and talk to her.
Oh my God.
We actually both met. We met through a mutual friend. We were both starting out our businesses in 2017, and we were able to hit it off. She actually started her business because she makes bunny ears and mini ears out of sarape material. So this friend that we have in common, I remember that she contacted me and she said, at the time Alyssa was going through hardship and she was having a transition in her life.
Okay.
And my friend called me and she says, Arlene, I have a friend who lives in LA, but she's going to transition back to Texas. She has merchandise that aligns with your business. Would you mind giving her a call? Maybe you can carry her stuff in your tienda. And I was like, oh, for sure. So I was on the phone with Melissa that afternoon, and I bought these things off her, and to help her out, I listed them on my website, and people loved them. And then we just hit it off, and now her and I work together. So me and her we do the Viajera Blogueras together. We get a group of mujeres. They sign up. We take them. We also ask them, if you want to start your business and don't know, how to do it, where to go, we'll show you the ropes. And it's been a beautiful experience because it's more like a collective. It's like a sisterhood. Yes. You know what I mean?
This is so special because you are who you surround yourself with. So if you surround yourself with badass Latinas and with mind-like individuals, you will succeed in life. Yo creo que por eso nuestras abuelitas nos decían, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres.
I love that.
And having that spirit of I'm not going to gatekeep. Porque hay lugar para todas nosotras. Me encanta esa mentalidad. Tengo goosebumps. No sé si se puede ver o no, pero tengo goosebumps de que hay más personas con esa mentalidad. Porque esa es mi mentalidad. He conocido a mucha raza que me dice, quiero empezar mi podcast. And I'm like, start it. Just start it. Don't look, don't compare yourself, porque tú eres tú, nadie es tú. Y tú puedes traer tu propia esencia. And I just feel like this was meant to be, Arlene. You and me were just meant to be, because
Maribel, you gotta come with us on the next one. I want you to be there. We're gonna manifest it.
Yes, we're manifesting it. We're manifesting it because I want to go. I want to go. I want to join you ladies. I think this would be super magical. It's been a dream of mine to go to Oaxaca. Quiero probar el mole de Oaxaca. To be completely honest with you, the little fat girl inside of me is I want mole.
There's so many types. There's so many different types of moles in Oaxaca. Y te digo algo, Oaxaca para mí, México es hermoso. Y la verdad, México lo tiene todo.
Yes.
Every state has something to bring to the table, but Oaxaca, algo tiene que es
Mágico, huh?
Sí, they have like different regions, but everybody se dedica a algo. Como if you go to like Teotitlán del Valle, this place in Oaxaca where they specialize in making these beautiful tapestry rugs. Everything that they make is made from Mother Earth, from the way they process the wool, los colores que usan en las bolsas. Estoy mirando si tengo algo para. Let me bring it.
Yes.
So this is a purse that is from Teotitlán del Valle in Oaxaca.
Wow.
And if you look at this, all the colors are made like from seeds, from flowers, from coal. Todo está hecho. Sí, so you go and then like, I'll give you another place in Oaxaca. If you go to San Antonino, they specialize in this type of bordado. So everything there is a technique, and honestly, you learn. I love going because I want to educate myself more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I really want to tell the side of the artisan's life and story, and I'm still working on that. You know, one day I want to be able to write a book and bring that to the forefront, because I feel that there's a lot of people that don't understand the value of handmade, what goes in it, what they're feeling.
Let's talk about it. Yes.
You know?
Yes. I don't know if you know another shop similar to yours, Cadena Collective. It's two sisters, Alejandra and Mabel. I interviewed them as well, and they go and they, you know, también amazing brand, amazing sisters, dan unas piezas, pero ellas se enfocan más like in ¿cómo se dice? Like fashion. So it's like, you know, pieces que están handmade and glamour and así como de revista, where I'm like, girl, yo quiero.
I'm gonna have to write that down. What did you say their name is?
Cadena Collective.
Oh no, I don't think I have.
Oh, and
my gosh,
beautiful sisters. They have such a beautiful story. Te mando, after we're done with this, I'll send you the link to the podcast that I did with them. Y las piezas que ellas venden, hay bolsas que ellas venden, and people criticize the prices all the time. But what they fail to realize is that these are handmade products. They're trying to be fair to the artisans and saying, hey, you shouldn't be charging me $100 for this when I can sell it for more in the States, but I don't want to cheap you. So let me pay you what's fair, what I think is fair. And yo me las averiguo, and they're like, sometimes we're in negative because we're trying to be fair to everyone. And people fail to realize, you know, how long it takes to build a website, how much money it takes, the import fees alone. Sometimes import fees are bigger than what you're purchasing. Yes. Just try to send a family member in Mexico a little package and see how much your import fees are. Sometimes it's more than what you're actually sending them. Por eso, back in the days, nuestros papás mandaban cosas por medio de los tíos y las tías y los primos cuando nos venían a visitar. You know, hasta los quesos andaban contrabando. But I've learned along the way that for some reason, I don't know who made this okay, but it has been normalized to say, oh, because it comes from Mexico, it's cheap. Like, when did we become China?
No, yes, I totally agree. And we see it firsthand because we're there. And you know what? It's an art. What they do is acting. It takes months to make something, and they're putting their livelihood on this piece. They're giving it their all. Like, I'll just show you this piece here is from Gapa, cosmetic bag, and just all the detail that comes in making una prenda, like, people don't understand. And I feel that I want to be able to tell the side of the artisan, even if it if it's from start to end, like how the artisan starts their day, because I've learned and I've seen it through going through these trips. If an artisan is going through mourning or they have lost a loved one, it's going to show in their work. They're going to gravitate to blacks, to darker colors. If you're feeling happy, if the artisan's happy, they're going to gravitate to more colorful stuff. So everything that they make with purpose, and they honestly make it with love, and they're happy to show you. They're proud of these techniques. And I just feel like here in the States, a lot of us don't understand it. And they want it for pennies, you know?
Yes. And it's not fair, because not only does it take months to create these pieces, but this is an art that they learn desde niños. Like, they don't know nothing else. So it's something that's been passed down. It's almost like heirlooms, right? Aquí en los Estados Unidos, ya ves que las abuelitas, los gringos, yo voy a decir los gringos, están bien acostumbrados de que se pasan the quilt, like grandma quilts something and that's like priceless, right? Yeah. Pues imagínate eso, but 1,000 times more, because you're getting pieces that are one of a kind, that are beautiful, and that have love in them. It's not the same thing going to Burger King as going to maybe Cheesecake Factory. It's like, and even then, like, it's such a big difference. Like, it's even a bigger difference cuando comparas. You know, these are not mass produced. These take time. How long does it take you to, like, import de cuando pides a cuando te llega, mujer? Because I think a lot of people don't know that.
No, it's a process. I'm going to tell you, I am one that I love to go myself. I love to go to Puebla, even if it's a quick trip. Like, I want to go, I want to pick it, I want to be there. And, I want to do the footwork. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel it's more intimate, and then I get to be there with the artisan. So I go myself and I pick it. So I'll be in Oaxaca, or I'll go real quick to, even Jalisco has beautiful artesanía, Chiapas. Where else have we want to go to Guatemala, so that's in the work. But we do the footwork. We want to meet with them through going to Oaxaca. You meet different artisans, and we go high up in the Sierra. And let me tell you, like, we're there. So we've actually stood too at their homes, and it's just beautiful, because they really open up their doors to you. And, you know, I'm over here saying I'm going to help them, but no, they're helping me, because through the power of their love, I've done a lot of healing, like self-healing, through seeing them and being there with them and learning from them, because they're so humble. And sometimes we need that in our life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because do you feel like when you're there, porque ahorita what you're describing, girl, I think I would be in tears. So I'm gonna
like, there's been lots of tears.
Like, be prepared. And if anybody that's listening to us want to join us,
like these señoras, they're my family. They're my women. They've molded me. They tell you como es. They say échale pa adelante, sin, like, motivational.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
yes.
We're getting that aside from their beautiful work. So I like to personally go.
Yeah.
I know there's some girls at work where they the artisan contacts them through WhatsApp, because there's a lot of conversation going on, and then they get it shipped over. I've had some of that too, like, because once you meet the artist and you build a relationship with them, so they're like showing you their new technique, and they say, ¿Quieres comprar unas piezas? O yo a mí me gusta ir y estar allí con ellas.
No hay nada como, me imagino, a ti puedes hacer el WhatsApp, puedes comunicarte con ellos, estoy segura que puedes hablarles, pero no hay nada como ir en persona y sentir el amor y sentir esa emoción cuando estás tocando y viendo los textiles y viendo las piezas.
Learning what goes and not only that, but seeing their day to day, and they're human like us. Sometimes they're like their breath work goes in there, whatever they're feeling that day that they're making this prenda. And we've talked to some artisans, and they say sometimes we're depressed and we don't want to work, so we won't do nothing because we don't want to bring the bad vibe or whatever we're feeling into our prendas. And I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. Like that they take all that. And they do it. They're making this piece with a purpose. Do you know what I mean? Not like when you go to fast fashion. I don't want to name any of these fast fashion stores.
No, let's not give them any clout.
But do you know what I mean? It's different because items like, I'll show you another piece. Like these are pieces beautiful. That are from Puebla. So if you buy this piece, like I guarantee you're buying a piece that is going to be forever in your closet or your wardrobe. You can pass this on to your loved ones, and this item will never go out of style because it's a statement piece. It's an art piece, and for me, I love that. I've always loved it. When I did work corporate America, I was a regional manager for a very popular chain store that did me wrong, and I knew that. My mom would always tell me, because I was married to this company, I would do anything for this company. My mom would always tell me, because I lost a lot of family time because it was retail. So I'd be there the weekends, the holidays,
nights,
losing
evenings.
time with my time. Yes. So my mom's all, el día que no te ocupen, te van a dar la patada. And that's exactly what happened. This company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So I literally lost my job from one day to the next. That's how it was. I had to fight for what they owed me. It was very ugly. I was very sad, very depressed. And I remember that day, my husband actually dropped me off because my car needed maintenance. So then they let me go. And the first person that I called, I got all my chivas, everything from my office. And I called my daughter and I'm like, can you come pick me up? I was terminated. So my daughter tells me after, she's like, Mom, when you made that phone call, that was the happiest day. She's like, because I knew that you hated that job and you weren't going to let it go. So everything happens for a reason. And honestly, like it's my daughter through my daughter is the reason why I started Glamlindo. Porque let me tell you, when all this went down, I was, depressed because this was my livelihood. Like I have bills to pay, mortgages, my insurance. I was comfortable working there. I wasn't happy. I wasn't doing this job from the heart, which is like totally different than what I'm doing today. Like I do this with love, with purpose. It doesn't feel like work because I'm doing what I love with the people that I love, Yes. So when it all went down, I went to Mexico. And I was there for 3 months. So me fui a Chiapas, Jalisco.
Oh my God.
Puebla.
I'm so jealous.
So then when I came back to the States, I was there for myself. I bought myself stuff. My friends and my comadres wanted to buy my stuff off my back. Like, oh my God, I love your blusa. Oh my God, your huaraches. So then my daughter is like, me dijo, Mom, I think this is your calling. I think this is what you need to be doing, because she's like, I know how proud you are, of your culture, of our culture. And she's like, let me make the Instagram. And it's funny because my married name, my maiden name is Saldana, but my married name is Galindo.
Yeah.
So I've always loved the word glamorous. So I married both of the names, glamorous and Galindo, and I came up with Glamlindo. Glamlindo. You know what I mean?
It's such a beautiful name. And I think that was the first thing that caught my attention. That was because I'm like, Glamlindo. And I'm like, and then once I saw the pieces, I was like, no, sí son lindos. And it's glam.
Yes.
I love it.
So we married. Yeah. So then the rest is history. Like we didn't understand like how much support through our community that we got. I started my business with $500.
Listen up,
I
people.
used a lot of what I learned, but you can start it with anything. You know what? If you have an
listen
idea,
up, because a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, I need to be a millionaire," or only like, no. she had that budget, but your budget could be maybe $150, and you're just supposed to flip that.
$25. Just do it.
Just do
if you have, don't be scared. I think I feel like fear is something that takes from us. Like, don't be scared. You know, everything happens for a reason. So I understood it. I said, okay, that door closed for this door to open. And I've never been happier. Like I'm telling you, through the power of the community and through my business, I'm living a different lifestyle. I'm happier. I get to meet people like you. You know what I mean? Like, through the power of the business. And I feel like there's still lots to do. Like I'm just starting, and being a business owner, every day is a learning experience. I don't have it all figured out. So,
No.
and that's okay.
I'm so glad you said that, because girl, I thought I needed to be like a full-on adult that knew what I was doing. None of us know what we're doing, you guys. None of us. You figure it out as you go. But when it's your passion, when it's something that you love, oh, you'll fight for it. You'll fight for it.
Oh, yeah.
Ahorita te quería hacer una pregunta with what you were just saying. I was just meditating on this the other day. Do you feel like we Latinos, not just Mexicanos, Latinos, no importa de qué país eres, colombiano, Ecuador, Perú, whatever, siento como que somos personas muy espirituales. Like, that's something that's so rooted in our culture.
That gave me the chills, girl. Yes.
Right?
That gave me the chills.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like por eso muchos de nosotros nos apagamos estando aquí en Estados Unidos.
Oh, sí.
Because everything is greed here. And for us,
And hate.
Yes, there's a lot of hate, Pero siento como que se nos olvida algunas veces que no somos seres, especialmente los latinos, no somos seres que nomás podemos trabajar para vivir. Necesitamos el tiempo con nuestras familias, necesitamos que centrarnos otra vez y volver a la madre tierra. Necesitamos esas cosas, y siento como que tú, como ahorita describiste cómo te soltaron ese trabajo después de que le diste todo, después de que le dedicaste todo, because we're used to doing that, but now you're able to do it for yourself, for your business, and it has changed your perspective, and your spiritual being is awakened, and you're happy.
I am, and that's key, girl. Like, that's something that needs to be talked about, because let me tell you, a lot of these artisans son curanderas. Like, I've experienced some where we visit them in Huautla de Jimenez. It's another region in Oaxaca, where we go high up into the mountains. Like, it's so high up, it's like foggy. Se llama Huautla de Jimenez. And the artisan, before you come into her space, she's out there con el palo santo, con el, doing the limpia, and then making sure, like, whatever you're bringing is not, flows away. It's beautiful.
Wow.
So they do. It is part of their day-to-day, the spirituality, the ancestors, and being in the motherland and La Santa Tierra, even being there, like, I would walk around barefoot just to, like,
connect, have that connection.
Yes, and it's a beautiful thing. I really want you to go to Oaxaca.
Girl,
like,
I'm there.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yes, I'm there. Like, I am right now saying I am there. Like, I do not mind if I need to dip into my savings a little bit, because that's another thing. It's so economical to go and visit. Like, I'd rather go to Mexico que andar en Hawaii, andar en Europa, and I'm like, no. Like, I want to get to know Mexico before I know anything else in the world. I've gone to the Caribbean. En el Caribe, nos aman, mujer. A los mexicanos. Nos aman. Like, I was like, in the Dominican Republic, they know about El Chavo. And I'm like, you know about El Chavo?
Oh, I've been wanting to go there. I just no se me ha hecho. Pero
Girl, go.
La verdad,
it's worth it. It's beautiful because you get to see how people appreciate us. And you're like, you feel appreciated, you feel love, especialmente cuando tenemos tanto odio aquí en los Estados Unidos, hay tanto racismo, tanta negatividad, nos miran como que no somos nada cuando realmente we contribute so much to the States and we have so much culture that we were all just to get along. No sé, ¿de dónde estás tú, mujer? What state?
I'm in California. I'm like 20 miles from LA, Los Angeles. So I'm in California.
I'm in San Diego.
Oh, you're my neighbor.
Girl, we need to get together.
I'm going to go to San Diego. I'm going to come visit you.
Yes.
We're going to go have some. I love San Diego. I haven't been in a minute, but I've been it at Barrio Logan.
10 minutes away from me.
Por Viva Cafe. I've been there.
Yes.
Chicano Park.
Yes. I'm
You know, believe it or not, like I feel like we're lucky, like because
yes.
when I started my business, we got a little bit of like backlash and hate. I remember they would put mean comments, like they would say, "You're not indigenous. Why are you wearing that?" You know, mean stuff. And one time they called me a pocha and I had to delete it, but I'm like, you know what? I am a pocha. I am Chicana. I am Mexicana. I do identify myself with all of that. Like, I'm proud, but sometimes I feel like, and like, I've gotten where my mom's, like, where they say you're not Mexican enough or you're not American enough. So you have that sense of not belonging. Like, you feel like,
no somos ni de ahí. Ni de allá.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, like, I'm going to take it. Like, I even made a shirt because I remember they motivated me from something negative. I made something positive. I remember there was this person, you know, a troll on Instagram saying, you're not indigenous enough. Why are you wearing that blusa? Why are you wearing that huipil? And then she told me, like, eres una chola. So then I made a shirt and I put indigenous chola porque sí.
I saw that shirt. I wanted to ask you what was behind that. I'm so glad that you brought it up.
It came from that, like from a negative thing where they wanted to bury me, but I'm like, no, like it's beautiful. We identify, you know, not that I'm giving praise to cholos, but we do grow up with that. I did have a brother that was a cholo growing up. So yeah, I am part of that. That's part of our culture, you know, coming down the line because, you know, I'm Chicana, vengo de padres mexicanos. Yo me identifico como mexicana también. Si me quieren decir pocha, because you know how that word is.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a negative connotation for people to call us pochos. But I proudly say, yo soy pocha.
Pocha, yeah.
Pero eso no me quita la sangre mexicana que me corre por mis venas. Eso no me quita que mis padres nacieron en mi familia es de Guanajuato.
My dad's from Guanajuato.
No way.
My dad is from León, Guanajuato.
My family's from León, Guanajuato, girl.
Yeah. Oh my God. High five.
Yes. That is so
my mom's mom was from she was born in Mexico City.
Yes.
But she was from Veracruz, my mom's mom. But my mom
That's another place I want to go visit, Veracruz. En Mexico City. I'm telling you, yo quiero conocer todo México. Todos los bueno, menos Ciudad Juárez. I'll skip a few towns. I'll skip Sinaloa and Ciudad Juárez and all that where it's really, really hot. But, pero no, sí, hay tantos estados a los que quiero ir en México. Mi familia es de León, Guanajuato. I'm like, nadie, tú me puedes decir.
Crazy.
Tú me puedes decir como quieras. Dime como quieras, pero eso no me quita de dónde vengo.
No.
It is what it is.
As long as you know. Ajá.
Yes. Y ahorita que trajiste eso, fíjate que sí, se mira mucho, you know, especialmente creo que los que crecimos en los 80s y los 90s, vimos mucho gang activity, you know, especially in LA. That's one of the reasons, because I was born in LA. My family ended up going to Lincoln Heights, and allí todavía tengo yo familia de que llegaron de León a Lincoln Heights.
That's over there como by 5 Points por allá, no?
Yes,
Like
yes, East LA.
Yes.
So,
oh, yeah. East LA.
Se
I
vio
love it.
eso
I love
mucho.
it.
Y yo creciendo mujer, yo decía, ay, eso me da vergüenza. Because we're not cholos, like, ugh. But as I grew up and I studied Mexican American history in college, I learned that we didn't have another outlet. That was their outlet to feel identified. I mean, unfortunately, it went completely left, and there was violence, and there was so much. I'm not praising the cholo
But it's also
lifestyle.
from frustration, from feeling frustrated, like.
Yes, of feeling that oppression of being here, not feeling wanted, right? And I think now how we're channeling, coming together es apoyándonos, es conociéndonos. Es algo muy bonito.
Hablando, platicando, que no te dé vergüenza de dónde vienes, decir tu historia, porque mucha gente, they feel like, oh my God, I don't want to share that because I feel like, you know what I mean? No, like, tell your story, because if you don't tell your story, somebody's going to tell it for you, and it's not even going to be the way you want to tell your story. So I always say, like, it doesn't matter what we're going through, like, we got to be proud and we got to be, honest, not just with your friends, but with yourself. And, talking about it cures a lot. Like, I want to share really quick another thing that went on in my life. And my mom coming to this country illegally and having her kids, porque mi mamá llegó a este país ya embarazada de mi hermano mayor. Y él sí se hizo pandillero y estuvo en gangs, pero cuando él se portaba mal y yo notaba, porque yo soy la chiquita de 5, so I would see my mom being upset, frustrated, trying to make right. And we're going through all this stuff at home, and my mom still has to go to work, because So I remember when they, I'm going to tell you really quick, my brother went to prison in 92. I was 12 years old, and I remember that changed my mom's life. That changed our life. And we knew that he was innocent. We knew that what they were charging him with, he didn't do. He didn't commit the crime. But being in gangs, there's a fine line where you can't point fingers and say who did it. And my mom didn't understand that. So he would always say, like, Mom, if I say who did it, they're gonna come kill you guys. So long story short, mi hermano salió de prisión. My brother was in prison for 33 years for a crime that he did not commit.
Oh my God.
They exonerated him this year in May. He was all over the news. His name's Daniel Saldana. And they exonerated my brother, and my mom, gracias a Dios, was able to see this happen before she passed away. So my brother was exonerated in May. My mom passed away in June. And, I'm going to start crying now, but it's just like going back to that. There was back in the days, there was a lot of racism in the system, and, we lived it. So that's another thing that I feel that we got to be proud and talk about it, because it was for my family, it was like a ripple effect, because it affected everybody and the process of that. But, I'm happy that she was able to see her son get exonerated.
It almost feels, and it gives me chills. You made me cry. Qué hermoso que tu mom, it's almost like she was like, I'm at peace. Ya me puedo ir. Like, because my baby's getting a second chance.
Life.
In that, if you put it into perspective, like, if you're not listening to understand, all you just listened to was this poor single mom. Well, I don't know if your mom was single, but I'm imagining, las mujeres en nuestra cultura cargamos con mucho. And I feel like most of us are single moms sometimes, right? Aunque el papá esté presente, sometimes the dad is just like work home, yeah, and there's really no room for anything else. And so what I just heard was a struggle of your brother fitting in, your mom being occupied trying to provide for you guys, your brother no encontrándose ni aquí ni allá. ¿Y a dónde más recurres? Recurres con la gente que está en el mismo lugar que tú. And what can kids do, girl? They get in trouble. Why? Because it's hard to have everything. Y más, me imagino que tu mamá, porque este es el caso de muchos de nuestros papás, llegaron aquí sin ayuda, sin entender el idioma, sin saber qué iba a pasar, con cultura con la cual acostumbrarse. No puedes traer, o sea, traes tu cultura contigo, pero no la puedes apreciar como si estuvieras en tu tierra. And once you think about what actually happened, it's so much more deeper than just your brother being a troublemaker.
No, yeah, it comes. My mom even would say, like, yo no sé a qué vine a este país, nomás vine a sufrir. And she had all that, all those thoughts. And yo la comprendía porque mi mamá se volvió una diferente mujer once that happened, knowing that your son is innocent, but not being able to do nothing, So we lived it for years, girl. Like, we would go visit him in prison, and it's not nice, it takes a lot out of you knowing that he's in there innocently. And there's a lot.
I'm a boy mom.
There's a lot of Hispanics that are in there because we live in a racist system, and for whatever reason, but we're human. And I lived it. We lived it, and right now, it's fresh because he just got out in May. But I tell him, like, you have a story to tell, and we can't stay quiet.
Oh my God, can we bring him on here?
Yes, we should.
I would love to speak to him.
His name is Daniel Saldana. Like, after if you want to Google, because if you Google his name, there's a lot written on him. He's got a turn.
Yes, girl. I saw this story. You know what? I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm very bad with names. Por eso también I'm doing it as you're telling me. Porque se me olvidan los nombres. But I saw the news. I saw his story.
That's my brother. And he was let out May of 2023. We lost our mom June of 2023. And I just feel that, we have an interesting story. Like I tell my brother, this story needs to be told because there's a lot of family that are in the same position, and it affected us. It did. It was a ripple effect because when they took him, I was 12 years old. So can you imagine, like the youngest? So.
And there's something about being the baby girl and having an older brother. I don't know about you, but my older brother me gana por 11 años. And mine and his connection is super special. It always has been special. Like, he was almost like a second dad to me. And they carry so much on their shoulders being the firstborn.
Well, yeah, my mom when she worked graveyard, she worked at Mattel, so ella entraba en la tarde and she worked all night. So Danny was the one that would watch us, and he would take me to school and pick me up. And I remember there was times where he would come pick me up a little stoned, and I'd be scared, like, oh my God, este está loco. But I always loved him. I love him.
And now to know that weed is not even bad, girl.
I have 3 brothers. I have 3 brothers and a sister, and I'm the youngest. Pero de los 3 hombres hermanos, yo siempre decía, él tenía algo diferente, him being in gangs or whatever, like I was never scared, he never put us in bad positions. What they did to him was awful. And when you have time, you can read the story of it's word for word, everything that we went through.
I'll share
that made me stronger. I felt like that also, you take from different things in your life, and I feel like that taught me a lot. Yes, I was young, but it embedded things in me that made me stronger, that made me like keep on going because I knew that one day he would be out. I did. I felt it in my gut. I just didn't know when this would happen. And it happened this year. So we lost my mom, but we gained my brother. And I just feel like, man, like, you know what I mean? Like we're losing something. It's like a cycle.
Yes, and that takes so much healing. And they say time heals it all, but it doesn't. I think time just helps you cope with it a little bit better. Pero el dolor nunca se va a olvidar. Los años perdidos, ¿quién te los regresa? You know, when you're exonerated, most of the time, I've heard this from people where they're like, oh, well, they're going to get good money. It's like, even if they do, say that they give your brother $5 million. Even if they do, I don't know full on details of his case, but even if they do that, if you have that mentality, are those $5 million worth all those years of suffering, of pain that you went through, that your family went through, that this poor mother had to see her baby? I can only imagine, girl, like as a mom, I'm a boy mom. Y mi primer hijo, like I've been through so much with him. My faith and my bond with him is just.
That's my mom. And I understand her now because being little, I didn't understand a lot. But then once I grew up and I seen things firsthand and I started to understand, I was like, now I get you, Mom. Now I understand why. Because my mom became a very bitter person. My mom was never like that. Sí sufrimos mucho por causa de eso. And I'm glad that I was, because through the pattern of life, like we, you know, I sometimes didn't get along too much with my mom, but I understood that she was going through pain bodies that needed to be addressed. And I feel like, man, I don't know what I would do being in her shoes. Like I get her now, you know, I understand her traumas. I feel bad. I wish that I would have been more comprensiva con ella, sea lo que sea, es mi madre y la quiero y siempre la voy a amar y nos decimos lo que nos tenemos que decir and it's sad because I'm like, he wasn't able to be with his mom. Like, yes, he's free now, but mom's not here no more. And you know, like you said, no money can bring my mom back. You know, no money can bring the time that he lost. And believe me, it's been tough, girl, but we're gonna get through it, you know. There's been things, you know, then you have siblings that, you know, que no son muy nice, pero tienes que lidiar también con eso. So
because God knows what they've been through too. And that's the thing, you know, when you have a big family, todos tienen su perspectiva, todos tienen su propia manera de pensar. Todos están en diferentes stages of their life. I am one of four. I'm the baby girl. And
we have that in common too. You're the baby.
Girl, we're besties and we don't even know it. You and me, we're besties. And so to me, I see things very differently than my siblings. From the youngest to the oldest, you know, es muy diferente, pero it's taken me a lot of therapy. It's taken me getting to know people like yourself, where I'm like, God, we're not alone. And that's the whole purpose of this podcast, embracing my markings, embracing who we are, embracing our story, that, you know, we're not outcast. We're not.
Because at the end of the day, we're human, you know. And I'm gonna tell you something. You know, being, you know, I own my business and I have a very small team. You know, it's me, my husband helps me a lot, my daughter, my sobrina. But sometimes you have to disconnect. And I had a hard time learning this because I'm so hands-on and I want to micromanage and do everything. But sometimes you have to disconnect. Why? Because you have to be good and well with yourself. I went through a hard time April, May, June because of everything that was going on with my family, mom being sick, my brother being exonerated. There is a lot of emotions. And I was like, I have to disconnect to be well with me. And, you know, luckily I have, you know, my family that helps me with my business. And it's a beautiful thing. And sometimes you have to learn, like, being a business owner, I feel like you're on 24/7, and that's okay. It's beautiful, but sometimes you have to disconnect to be able to function and do things right, because I did feel like I was going to lose my mind when mom passed away and everything was going on.
No, but that's a huge hit, girl. I could just like your whole world was like flipped upside down and shaken.
Yeah, because my mom was diagnosed. She passed away from cancer, stomach cancer, but it took her fast. Like I didn't think that we were going to lose her this soon. I thought like maybe she's going to be around and being able to spend time with Danny, but it wasn't.
I was just listening the other day, and I would love to get your thoughts on this. I saw a video.
Women have 80% of autoimmune disease in this society. Diseases where the immune system attacks the body happens to women much more than to men. Things like rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, inflammatory diseases of the gut. Why? Compulsively concerned with the emotional needs of others rather than their own. Identified with duty, role, and responsibility, so their work in the world rather than their own true selves. They tended to suppress healthy anger. So they tend to be very, very nice and peacemakers. And they tended to believe that they're responsible for how other people feel and that they must never disappoint anybody. Two fatal beliefs. So these are the people that, according to my observation, but according to a whole lot of research as well, that I didn't even know about, these are the people that tend to develop autoimmune disease. Now, in this society, which gender is more acculturated, programmed to suppress their healthy anger, to be the peacemakers, to be the caregivers? Women. This is a function of a reality that a lot of people deny, but it's a patriarchal society, which we can talk about, but it's not a conspiracy. It's just how it works. So me in my marriage, expect my wife to absorb my stresses. And if I'm unhappy, guess who I blame? And who do I take it out on? So she would experience somebody who's can be hostile for no reason and blaming, and she has to walk around eggshells. Now, she was programmed that way as a child. Her parents had a lot of problems, and she became the peacemaker and a caregiver emotionally. And then she carries that role into her marriage with me. And here's what the bad news is for people. We always marry somebody at the same level of emotional development or trauma resolution as we are.
I feel like Latinas were made out to feel spicy, right? Somos fuertes, somos bien canijas, somos bien perruchas.
Mona.
Yes, and we are, pero somos súper sentimentales, sentimos todo con el corazón, amamos a nuestras familias, nos desvivimos por nuestras familias. And so this psychologist was saying that's why more women have chronic conditions and get like severe medical conditions, because we forget to take care of ourselves. And I would not, and ahorita hearing what your mom went through for 33 years and how funny, well, not funny, but what a coincidence that as soon as your brother's release, it was almost like her body probably let go también.
Mm-hmm.
In those years of not just your brother, porque me imagino verlos a ustedes crecer aquí, ella no poder regresar, me imagino a lo mejor ella perdió lo que pasa con muchos de nuestros papás, pierden a sus papás, no pueden estar ahí presentes durante ese tiempo de perder a tu padre, a tu madre. That's hard. That's a lot that she carried for that long.
Can you imagine? Yeah, it's true. And we do live like that. So sometimes we do have to, like, como digo, tú trabajas mucho and sometimes you're like, well, you think about taking a trip and doing stuff for yourself. But I feel like sometimes we got to give ourselves that, disconnect and let go, so that we have peace within ourselves, because we do put this mask on where, no, everything's fine, I'm going to get through this, but it's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
It's okay not to be okay all the time. That's what I tell my girls, like, girl, I got you. And it's we can't be okay all the time. You know, we go through our ups and downs in life, and it teaches us, because sometimes when I go through things, it motivates me. It'll bring me something that I can bring to my business. You know, what can I create? What am I feeling? You know, like stuff.
Yes. I wasn't planning on this, so bear with me. Let me look it up. I just saw a video.
This is the mental load we carry for the people we love. Sorry, Kate, to do that. Can I show the slight difference between mums and dads, like when you go to bed at night?
Yeah.
Because the singular focus of most males means I'm going to go to bed to go to sleep, and you go to bed and you go to sleep.
Yeah.
So the mum comes to bed to go to sleep. But we're biologically wired to make sure that we're caring really well because of estrogen. So we'll go through every decision we made during the day, from, you know, breakfast right through. Not only that, well, oh my God, they didn't eat enough broccoli. Geez, did I have enough of that in the lunchbox?
That's
and then
a female thing, isn't it?
It's a female thing. And then we second guess and we beat ourselves up. And then we're wondering if they'll get into university. And then we've gone back and regret something we did at our 21st. And then we've come forward to the kids again, comparing to somebody else.
Oh my
then
God.
we've gone, oh my God, my eyebrows, I'll need to put that in. There's a load of washing in. Have I got it, Kate? Right, and about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Kate's getting emotional.
Yeah,
This is stressful.
This is the
That would
mum
be so
brain.
stressful.
This is the mental load we carry for the people we love. Sorry, Kate, to do that. I absolutely hear that.
Yeah.
So what I want sometimes is for our dads to recognise that we're just... It's just we're wired different.
Okay,
But we
gotcha.
want the dads to be able to jump in sometimes and go, got this, love. In
Did
different
that
houses.
strike a chord though, Kate? Did it?
Just the
Yes.
The mind games.
the inner
Yes.
dialogue that doesn't
Go
Ever
away.
stop.
that doesn't ever end.
So she goes into that, and I'm like,
Ah,
so I'm not the only one planning out my life at 1 a.m, because ya cuando todo se queda bien calladito en la noche. Y miro
That's
a
your
mi
time.
That's my time, girl. And then I start thinking, like she said, you know, you start thinking, did I give my kid enough vegetables? Did I do this? Did I meet his needs? Is my husband going to be okay tomorrow? You know, like God knows what. Y cargamos tanto en nuestros shoulders. And I feel like what you're doing with your business, not only are you putting us out there, educating people on our culture, but I feel like you're making us mujeres be seen as well. De que sí lo podemos hacer. Puedes hacer lo que tú, lo imposible es posible, como dijo Selena, right?
y sí lo es. Nomás echándole ganas and believing in yourself and taking out the fear, because I feel like when you have fear, that interferes with a lot in our lives in general. Just do it. Even if you feel like, sometimes I feel like people say, I want to start my business, but I'm not ready yet. You're never going to be ready. Just do it.
Yes. Tell them, girl. Oh my God. You guys, please, 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 please go check out glamlindo.com, and that's spelled GLAMLINDO. En español es GLAMLINDO. Or, I'm sorry, DO.com.
The word glam. It's one word, but we married both words. So it's
Yes.
glam. So,
Yes. Girl, this has been so amazing. Y por eso tenemos que ir a apoyar a Arlene, you guys.
gracias.
Vamos a
Gracias.
apoyarla. Vamos a comprarle sus piezas. Let's go and just support somebody else.
Cuando me soportas a mí, soportas también a los artesanos tras nuestras prendas. So, estás dando tu granito de arena para poder darles en return y continuar, porque cuando me mandan un mensaje que me dicen, recibí mi prenda, está hermosa, that keeps me going.
Yes.
Eso me da ánimo para seguir.
Yes. Yes. And even if, say that right now you don't need a piece, because many of us, not all of us, but many of us are trying to save money, porque sabemos que ya vienen las ¿cómo dice mi papá? Las vacas flacas. Pero you can do it. Give somebody something. Ya vienen los holidays, donde there's gift giving. This is something so meaningful, something so special, something that you can give to somebody with so much love. Even like the dress that you have back there, girl, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that is so gorgeous. Like, beautiful.
Thank you. I thought you did a little bit more.
Yeah, está hermosísimo. And you guys, that's handmade. That's handmade embroidery. That wasn't a machine. That wasn't a brother machine that made that. And that's the beauty of it. So I think if you're okay with it, I think this is a good place to leave it. You guys go support Arlene, a Latina business. You guys just got to know her heart. You know where it's at now. This is the type of business that we should be supporting. Es muy fácil. Es muy fácil meternos a Target. Es muy fácil meternos a Nordstrom. Es muy fácil meternos. Y ahí, ¿verdad que no cuestionamos los precios? Así no vayan y cuestionen a Arlene. Y apoyen.
Sí, I encourage that too. I encourage for you to support any small business, be it so mine, be it so my amigas. Yes. We are a family that's doing this with love, with intention, and como dijiste, we easily give our money to these corporate stores, and why not help a small business,
Humble down your tia. Instead of her carrying around that Coach bag or that Michael Kors bag, give her an artesanía bag and be like,
yes,
tia, esto tiene más amor.
Yes. Algo de Oaxaca, algo de Chiapas. See that? This cute little cosmetic bag.
Bring her back to her roots. Porque esas tías wild out sometimes.
Yeah.
Yo, I've done that, girl. I've done that. Donde les doy a mis tías, like, I'm like, Michael Kors ni sabe quién eres. Y tú acá poniendo en consignment cosas. Get out of here with that nonsense. Pero yeah, no, thank you so much for joining us, Arlene.
Thank you for having me, girl. I really feel like we're connected.
Yes.
I want to be in contact with you. A lo mejor te veo allá en San Diego, and I do want to. We're going to be in Oaxaca together.
Yes.
I'm putting it out in the universe.
Yes, you guys look out for that. And if you guys want to join us, you better go follow her.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Bye, Arlene.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
Bye.